check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
All right, Sean, it's Monday, and we have a lot of stuff going on today. NFL, NBA, college basketball. Probably ought to get right at it to at least the first game because they're going to start in no time flat. So, and then we'll come back to after the Browns and the Raiders pick to what we learned this weekend. All right, Sean. So, Browns, Raiders, what do you got?
I actually think the Browns are going to win this game because, we got a lot of injuries. We got a lot of, well, not really injuries, COVID with the Browns.
Well, you got the two quarterbacks are out, right?
Yeah. It's funny is they moved this game from Saturday to Tuesday because they only got one player back.
And who is that?
Not even that important, I don't think so.
Well, I'm sure he feels it's important.
But so Nick Mullins is going to start. But the thing is, the Browns, they run the ball. I mean, and Hunt is out as well. But I think Chubb in the offensive line, and Nick Mullins did play some with San Francisco.
He's not really San Francisco.
Yeah, he played okay. He's more of a backup quarterback than he is a third string quarterback, I think. So,
do you feel like he's a big downgrade from Case Keenum or Baker Mayfield? But put it this way, before you go into there, the game opened up at 1.5-point underdog, the Raiders. Now it's Raiders are a 3-point favorite, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel like Nick Mullins is a 4.5-point less of a football player than Baker Mayfield or Case Keenum?
Probably not, and that's why I'm taking the Browns here. Also, I like we said. I mean, Mayfield has games where he's 10 of 18, terrible. 100 yards. It's the offensive line and it's the running game. Now, not having Hunt and only having Chubb, but they have
but Ernest Johnson is pretty solid in there. He filled in admirably when they were both out. I mean, he did probably better than either one of them when they were both out.
And they have some defensive players out too. Clowney's out, stuff like that. But I'll take the Browns over.
But the Raiders they don't generate much in the way of offense on the ground as it is anyway. So it's going to come down to the passing game. And really, who on the Raiders, does Zay Jones scare you? Probably not.
Does
Deshaun Jackson scare you? Probably not. Does what's his name? What the hell is it? The guy he likes to throw to all the time? Humphreys.
Humphrey. Brian Edwards.
No, he doesn't throw to Brian Edwards. It's oh, come on. It's I can't believe I can't remember his name.
Hunter Renfrow?
Hunter Renfrow, yes.
Yeah.
Hunter Renfrow.
He's really good. He's just not he's not gonna
does he really scare you though? I mean, no. 7 yards doesn't scare me.
No, he's more like the Wes Welker of the Raiders.
Well, he's just a possession guy.
Yeah.
In and out, hard to cover on the cuts, gets the ball 7 yards, and then can't outrun nobody.
Their best weapon's going to be out again, Waller. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Browns, and I'm going to take them to win this game.
So you're going to take the money line?
Yeah, I'm going to take the money line.
Oh, you're going to go that route, huh? All right. So oddly that I have that open. So you're going to only get plus 125 for that, Sean. I'm going to take the Browns too, but I'm going to take the 3 points because it's the NFL, Sean. They're the home team, home dogs. You got to love them. It doesn't mean they're going to win the game. I have them winning the game, Sean, though. So I should probably do like you, but I'm not going to be like you. I'm going to be like me, and I'm going to stick to my rules, and I'm going to take the Browns. I'm going to take the 3 points. The total in this game, Sean, is 41.5. Again, I don't think Baker Mayfield makes that big of a difference, so I actually have the game going over. I could, if I wanted to, double dip, but I won't because I'm already on the Browns. But if I wanted to, I could double dip and take the over.
And so there's another over-under that we disagree. I would lean towards the under. Just, they're going to play it close to the best. Cleveland with the running game. Oakland, like we've talked about, you're missing your best option, and they've been quiet the last few weeks. They really have not been playing well. Carr has not been playing well. So I would lean towards the under, but I'm not going to play it either way.
I'm not going to play it. The game is going to go over, Sean. There will be some defensive touchdowns, some big plays. It's going to be a wide open affair, Sean. I feel like. I think you're going to see a couple of big plays on the day. All right.
And the other wild fact, I mean, not many games are played Monday at 5:00, and they were scheduled to play Saturday. So their whole thing is thrown off at this point too.
A little bit, but Saturday would have thrown them off as well, probably.
Yes.
The other game on the docket is Minnesota here in Chicago to face the Chicago Bears. You have the Vikings fighting for a playoff spot. Maybe the Bears are still fighting for a playoff spot. I don't know. I'm probably not mathematically eliminated, just talent-wise they're eliminated. It's the Vikings, this is another line that was kind of curious because it did open up. Well, it's 6.5. It's still 6.5 now. So what do you think about the Vikings and the Chicago Bears? And I know you, Sean. You can't just sit there and have action on one game because when that game is over, you're going to want to be on the other one. So which one are you going to take?
Well, I was going to leave this one go. But then I think to myself, like a couple of
first game is over, I'll be watching the other one. I wish I had something on it. That's what you're thinking.
Minnesota, how many teams does Minnesota blow out? They don't. Mm-hmm. They're one of those teams that make it hard for themselves no matter what. And the Bears.
Let me ask you a question. The Bears were up like 24 against Green Bay and still managed to lose by double digits.
I understand. But the Bears, you can say what you want about Fields, but they're always seeming to be in the game. I'm going to take the point.
What I want about Fields. I'm not saying what I want about Fields. I'm just making observations about Justin Fields. I'm not. I'm not saying. I'm not one that comes with an opinion and then just says, I don't care what I see. I'm just relaying what my eyes are telling me and what history shows.
I know. I'm just saying he has his moments and they play hard for him and they've been competitive when he's been in there. I think more competitive than when Dalton's in there. 6.5 points. I'll take them at home. I don't take the Vikings make it tough for themselves. So I'm going to take the points here. I'm not going to take the Bears.
When you look at the talent, though, Sean, it's overwhelmingly on one side of the field.
It is, but Thielen's questionable as well.
Yeah, but the kid Osborne's probably faster anyway, I feel like. And Justin Jefferson, you could stick like 7 guys on him, and he's still going to get open.
And we also have
Justin Jefferson to have a huge night tonight.
I know he's gotten over it a little bit. He won, I think, his last one, but Cousins is another one that he struggles on Monday night. So, you always have those, we say stupid stats, but man, do they come alive a lot.
Yes, not so stupid when they're right.
Yeah.
Right. So I actually have in the Bears game, I have the Vikings winning and covering. I have them winning by a touchdown. So it's not enough for me. That half point, Sean, is going to be the difference. And then as far as the total is concerned in that spot, Sean, it's 46 points. This is you can go as low as 46. So you can go over 46 for 108 or under 46.5 for minus 110. Any interest in biting on that?
No interest at all. I could see it going either way. If you had to maybe the over, but I'm not playing either way here, and not a strong feeling at all.
So earlier in the day, the line was 41. So it's gone down to 40.5. Can I do 40.5, Sean? Let me put this in here.
For the Raiders?
No, for this game, 46. No, it was a 45. It's actually creeping up. I'm looking at the other one.
Okay.
So it's actually creeping up a little bit as game time comes. So I'm a point away. If the total in this game was 45, then I could go ahead and take the over in this game. I might think about taking the Vikings over their total. So it's 46-23 Vikings. So the Vikings at 26. Nah, I'm not going to take the Vikings over 26, although I do think they'll score 28 points or more.
It would be 26.5 is what it is.
Yeah, it's too many for me. That's one touchdown turn to field goal away from being a loser. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sean. So as far as the NBA is concerned, do we have any injury news, any stuff along those lines? I mean, obviously the Chicago Bulls, their entire roster, I don't even know why they're playing. Their entire roster is COVID.
Yeah, are they playing?
I think they are. I mean, I didn't see it postponed. I saw the one game between Orlando's postponed, but I did not see that the game from Chicago and Houston was postponed. You tell me.
No, I haven't seen it yet, but I mean, that could still, come. These are interchangeable and up to the minute.
I still see the line. I still see live lines for that game. So I'm guessing that that game is a go. And right now, as it stands, the Bulls are
that change
6.5 point favorite.
Wow. Okay, so Sixers Celtics. You got Embiid and Tatum both questionable. It sounds like both should play.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Golden State's getting a bunch of their players back with the whole COVID thing and stuff and rest and everything else they had. Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins are probably both out. Wiggins for sure is definitely out.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Kings, you have some protocols, De'Aaron Fox, Davon Mitchell, Marvin Bagley, all to be determined. Paul George is questionable. I feel like he's questionable all the time.
I read he's out.
Is he out? Okay.
I read he's out, yes.
Yeah, he's missed the last 5, so this, be 6 now. John Morant's coming back possibly. It sounds like he might play a few minutes. He's listed as questionable.
That'd be a good thing.
Yeah,
I don't know that it matters. Last time they played Oklahoma City, they scored like 160.
Well,
right?
The difference is Alexander's back for Oklahoma City. I can't imagine he's worth 60 points, but the
I don't know that
difference
he stops them from scoring 159 either.
The other problem with the Grizzlies is they were 9-2 without Morant, so hopefully that doesn't mess up what they got going on.
Overrated.
And then Gordon Hayward is doubtful for the Hornets.
So against the Utah Jazz. So looking at these lines tonight, Sean, there's really nothing crazy in terms of line movements or like money that's, where all the tickets are one way, but all the money is the other. I'll just note that in the NBA that most of 90 cents is on the Celtics, although the tickets are pretty evenly split, but they still tilt towards the Celtics. And then 89 cents are on the under in the Jazz game against Charlotte. But still, majority of the tickets are on the under too. But it's just two of the biggest, I would say, most money on one side of the bet on the night. So that's where all the smart money's at. Aside from that, Sean, I don't have much else in that respect. Any games in here that you're playing?
Yeah, and I'm going to do it. And the Jazz have burnt me personally in two parlays. They've lost 2 in a row at home. But
so you're going to bet against them?
No, I'm going to bet with them, giving up 12.5 to Charlotte. Charlotte just got blown out last night.
That's a lot of points.
I know it's a lot of points, but Charlotte just got blown out by Phoenix. Sure. Jazz are, they're not going to lose 3 in a row at home, and they should be out.
So you're just going to money line them? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm giving up to 12.5.
You're going to give up to 12.5?
Right. Yeah, it should be another blowout. I think the Jazz got to, figure it out and go for redemption here and have one of those games where they look like the Jazz.
All right. For me, Sean, I'm agree with you. I'm going to take the Jazz. You got any other games that you like?
No, I wanted to go Memphis, giving up the 9, but they just played last night too, and they lost. And Thunder does have Alexander in the lineup, so I stayed away from that. The Warriors giving up 12.5 to the Kings. The problem with that is some of those players are just coming back, plus they're still missing 2 key players, so that's a lot of points for a Kings team. So nothing else I like. And the Sixers, Celtics, they're always close games. So,
well, for me, Sean, I am going to do it. I am going to take Memphis, Sean, for sure. That's the route I'm going to go because I do feel like that 159-point game is fresh in their mind, so they're going to have good memories in regards to that game, Sean. So that's what I'm going to do there. And then I'm also with you on the Utah Jazz. Anything else in the NBA that sticks out to you totals-wise, or do you want to move on to college basketball?
No, I mean, I didn't play it. You probably could do the under in the Sixers Celtics game. They always seem to play games under 213.5. It's a low total, but they probably both either just under 100 or both just over 100, so it probably stays under.
Probably stays under 100. All right. As far as the NCAA college basketball goes, Sean, who do you like in the NCAA world?
I'll tell you, I got nothing in college basketball tonight again.
Yeah, I think that would be, you got nothing. I think I think we got to get a t-shirt. I got nothing. Sean's face on there. Right?
Yeah, with a sad face that I couldn't play
it. That's probably what it is. Believe me, if there's unquestionably, if there weren't 2 NFL games today, Sean would have a college basketball play. Undoubtedly, he would have one. But in any case, I have one tonight, Sean, and I'm usually not a big fan of these kind of games. So looking at this game between Wagner and Delaware State,
wow.
Barn burner, man. You can't wait to get that game. But when you do look at it, man, Delaware State is pretty awful on defense. And Wagner actually has one of the top most efficient offenses in college basketball. I know a lot of that has to do with who Wagner plays. I mean, if they're playing against top-tier college talent, they probably wouldn't have such an offensive juggernaut. But the fact of the matter is Delaware State doesn't fit in that realm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Wagner is a 24-point favorite at home, Sean. I'm going to lay the 24 because I'm absolutely nuts. How many people out there in the world today are saying, you know what, I can't wait to play Wagner minus 25?
Well, I had 2 surprises.
The world would look at you and go, who the hell's Wagner?
I had 2 surprises here. One, you picked out of all these games. I know there's not a ton, but you picked out Wagner and Delaware State. And I'm for sure you're going to take 24 points because it's just way too many. And no, you went the other way and took Wagner, giving up the points. Wow.
Every now and then, Sean, the inner nut comes out of me for sure. That's today.
But we can assure that Rich did his research and he knows what he's talking about here.
Well, I did my research. Whether or not I know what I'm talking about is what I brought up is correct. The offense-defense matchup heavily favors the folks in Wagner. The question is, are they up 24-25, and then some kid hits a random 3 at the end of the game to just put your life in misery before you go to bed, right?
Yeah. And then you go, why did I do this? Why did I play Wagner?
What the hell was I thinking? Wagner? Who was Wagner? I always bust your nuts.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Name one player. I can't even tell you what state they're in. Never mind. Name a player. All right. Anyway, so let's go back. Let's rewind a little bit to our normal activity. What did you learn?
One, there's problems with Arizona. I think Arizona's got problems like Baltimore's got problems.
So you're saying that the Detroit is now they're better than the Rams because they actually handled the quick thing for you though. Jared Goff has never lost to Kingsbury. Is that right? I heard he was 8-1 versus Arizona is what I heard. Mm-hmm. So the one loss must have came before Kingsbury. So yes. Yeah. The other thing is, can we stop with the analytics, because the analytics don't work? I mean, do you mean the coaching decisions at Baltimore? Is that what you're pointing at? No, I'm not pointing out just that. I mean, pointing out that is although capital. Okay, listen, that's capital dumb. You just lost a game to a rival 2 weeks ago doing the same damn thing. And I know in the back of your mind, you're thinking gambler's fallacy. It's 50-50. We missed on the last one. So that means we're going to make this one. One has absolutely nothing to do with the other. And I know it's analytics, like you said, it's 2021, computer driven, blah, 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 blah. When you're the home team, you play for the tie. When the road team, you play for the win. Twice now, as the home team, Harbaugh played for the win, and both times it bit him in the derriere, and that's capital D-U-M-B. Well, here's the thing. I'll go back to the first drive of the game when they decided to go for fourth down instead of kicking the field goal. Mm-hmm. You had a great drive. Hundley looked great. And by not kicking the field goal, and teams keep doing this, the Chargers keep doing this. They go for it, and you lose all the momentum you have. Okay, if you kick a field goal, okay, you have a little momentum. The defense got a little momentum. They stopped you. Mm-hmm. If you score a touchdown, you have all the momentum. But when you stop yourself like that, the defense has all the momentum, and you can throw out that whole first drive. It's a killer. And I'm not one. I hate when people go, oh, if you would have kicked the field goal there, they win the game 33-31. It never happens like that. The whole game gets reset from that point. But then also the play calls, these fades and these rollouts. That rollout is the worst. Fades are horrible. The rollout is the worst. You're doing half the field. Everybody knows as soon as you roll out, you got to go. And then also he had no option to run it in there. He's rolling out 10 yards. He's got no option to run in the end zone. He's been running all game. It's just horrible play calling. And like you said with the going for 2. So if you go for 2 in 2 games, and analytics would tell you you're going to make one of them? Probably more than one. I think analytics say you score like 60% of the time on a 2-point conversion. Well, how many times have we seen these 2-point conversions? I can tell you it doesn't hit at 60% no matter what the computers say. Mm-mm. The analytics is like everybody, us 9-to-5 people that have bosses and stuff that go by the numbers. How accurate are those numbers? Ask yourself that. These are what the analytics are doing now. It's more of a feel that you should. I know that you may say you work 9 hours, Sean. That's what the numbers say, but you're probably really working 4. So the numbers lie for sure, Sean. So, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, it's a feeling for your team. It's a feeling on results from before, momentum. Well, so what it is to me, Sean, is that they throw the whole history of the league out the window, right? And they rely on numbers. To me, there is some wisdom in history, right? And growing up, again, you play for the tie at home, but also a very simple rule: you don't chase points early in the game. You take the points you can get because, like you said, you get a lead. Once you have a lead, if you never give up the lead, you can't lose, right? So you're already ahead of the game by getting ahead. So you start putting pressure on the other team. But B, it happens all of the time. When you leave points on the table in the first half, you need those points in the second half. I mean, it's just karma, I guess, right? You're taking it for granted. It's the old saying, counting the chickens before they hatch. So I also learned that without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, Brady looks like he should retire. Or do you think that was just the one game of the year where Brady just looks bad like he does every year, and then like when he actually plays like he's 60 years old?
Well, apparently it's just the Saints. That's another thing I don't understand. I mean, no matter what the Saints are doing to him, they're playing the umbrella and stuff like that. Why can't Brady figure it out a little bit? Or why can't every team
to Michigan?
Why can't every team do that to Brady? Right? Like, what they were doing to Kansas City earlier. Now all of a sudden they can't do it to Kansas City.
Well, the thing is, Brady doesn't mind dinking and dunking, right? He'll take 5 yards at a time. He's not impatient. Where the other guys get impatient, right? So he knows he's got 7 Super Bowl rings dinking and dunking. So he's all happy to dink and dunk.
Yeah. I mean, I really need to start writing more notes down, because Brady in primetime and Brady against the Saints in primetime is just, the reason I couldn't do it at all. And I understood your pick with the points, and I'm fine with that. I still couldn't go with that because I couldn't find where the Saints were going to score their points.
Well, they didn't need to score many.
They didn't need to do it. No.
First field goal, game was over.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, I'll put it this way. I look at them every week, and I usually don't play. You look at the highest scoring game, highest scoring team, where you could play there. And they had Tampa Bay Saints listed as one of the higher scoring games. And I knew it couldn't be, because where were the...
So quick question for you. Dark horse now that we're, 3 games left in the NFL season?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like the Packers probably they have a pretty easy schedule. Minnesota's probably the only tough team they have left. So they're probably the inside to get the 1 seed in the NFC, right? Mm-hmm. Kansas City quietly, Sean, move their way into the 1 seed in the AFC. So you had a dark horse right now, not including the top seeds. If you had a dark horse right now, team like, maybe 2 weeks ago you said no chance. Now there's a dark horse. You say, you know what, this team can make noise in the playoffs. Who would it be? One from the AFC and one from the NFC.
Okay. Well, the NFC, do the 49ers still count as a dark horse? Because I really think they got something. And, they're missing key players every now and then too. So, I mean, I'd go with them in the NFC. The AFC. Oof.
So like everybody's falling apart in the AFC, right?
Yeah. I mean, does Indianapolis still count? I mean, and I think
Indianapolis counts. They're only a 500 squad.
The only thing with Indianapolis is it's amazing. Wentz had 11, 12 throws, and he still found a way to throw an interception. Like, and Frank Wright.
And then even an argument because somebody said something about his manlyhood.
And then Frank Wright even admitted when I heard this driving home today, actually, when Jonathan Taylor ran for the 68-yard touchdown or whatever it was at the end there. He was
like, poof.
He wanted to throw the ball. I mean, those are the two things that are going to hurt them. But if they can figure it out, I mean, they played a hell of a game, and they've been playing really good since the beginning of the year.
So I agree with you. I think the 49ers are probably the team in the NFC that has on the outside looking in. And I don't know if the Bills count or not, but I think the Bills will rebound before too long. They're starting to figure some things back out again. The defense is starting to look a little better. They lost a couple games that were really, really close. They never really got smoked by anybody. So I feel like the Bills might be a team that could rebound. I don't know that the Dolphins can win. One other thing I'd say we learned that you've probably learned now is that I'm right. Zach Wilson's figuring it out. He didn't make a mistake to cost his team last week. In this past week, he actually probably outplayed Tua. But
Tua was the one that struggled. I mean, he made some really good throws, but then he made some really bad throws. So
I think Zach Wilson is going to prove to be a pretty good quarterback in New York after the early growing pains. He's figuring it out. Smart kid, maybe that has a chance to do all right.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, Sean, any final thoughts before we get up and out of here to start this week? The first game kicks off in 1 minute.
Yes, it does. So, yeah, let's get to it Monday, and then we'll talk about 2 games tomorrow as well. So,
quick, your picks. We both are on the Browns. You like the Bears. I don't like anything in that game. I would think about taking the over, if anything, in that game. We're both on Utah minus 12.5. Ooh, that's sad.
Correct.
I'm on Memphis laying 9. Boy, I'm all over the big favorites tonight, and I'm on Wagner in college basketball. Woo, what was I thinking?
Yeah,
Wagner minus 24. I'm a sick man, Sean. And
Rich will be tuned into Wagner and Delaware State. How about that?
That is an amazing game. I can't wait. All right, Sean. Sean and I will be back in 23 and 30 to talk about 2 more NFL games, some NBA, and, of course, college basketball. And if anything in the NHL world strikes our fancy, we'll cover that, but probably not. All right, Sean. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, everybody, hope all your tickets are winners. Go Browns.